Hey guys, welcome to week 5, and this is lesson 1 for our online learning week. Who thought that we'd still be here week 5? I certainly did not. Just a reminder, this is the alternate work, so if you don't see this at the top of your slides, then you're doing the base work or the core work, so make sure you are following along with the right slides and the right videos that go along with them. Okay, so lesson 1 for this week. We're going to look at this poem. It's an excerpt from a poem called The Strangest Creature on Earth. So an excerpt is basically when we take a chunk from a poem and we just look at that chunk instead of looking at the entire poem. And so it's by Nazim Hekmet, and it said it was translated by Randy Basing and Matlu Konok. So what English? It wasn't first written in English; it was written in another language, and then they've translated it in 1993, and so this is what we have now. So I'm going to very quickly read through the poem first, and then we're going to look at these questions. You are like a scorpion, my brother. You live in cowardly darkness like a scorpion. You're like a sparrow, my brother, always in a sparrow's flutter. You're like a clam, my brother, closed like a clam, content. And you're frightening, my brother, like the mouth of an extinct volcano. Okay, pretty deep, and that's only some of the poem. So the poem, I assume, is much longer and continues this sort of pattern of comparing his brother to other things in the world. Um, but yeah, definitely gives off a very strange vibe of what sort of relationship these two people had with each other. Let's have a look at our first question here. We're going to identify the similes. Now, remember, similes are when we're comparing two things as like or as. So let's do this first one together. You're like a scorpion, my brother. You live in cowardly darkness like a scorpion. What are we comparing in that sentence? He's comparing his brother to a scorpion. So that is the simile there. The brother to the scorpion. And every couple of lines you'll see that there's another simile that he's created to create this image of his brother. So I want you to pause the video here and have a look at the next two lines, like the next, so these two, then these two, then these two, and tell me what is the simile in those sentences. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. So they're the 3 you're looking at. Okay, pause the video now and work on those 3 sections. Alright, welcome back, Year 7. I hope you found the similes that were being used here to describe the brother. I'm going to move on to question 2 on what do you think the brother is like based on these similes. So this is very one-sided. We don't get the brother's response. We just get one person talking about the other. Okay, the first line should give you a pretty good idea about how this person feels about their brother, that they're cowardly, they live in the darkness. Okay, as far as flutter isn't a compliment, closed like a clam, so they're not giving anything back. And this last one here is almost like a little bit of a joke. So you're frightening my brother like the mouth of an extinct volcano. So the way I read this the first time is I kind of feel like this is something that Thor would say about Loki in the first like couple of Thor movies before they're on the same side. That they have this, there's a very strong distrust and dislike between Thor and Loki in the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for those people that don't follow along with Marvel, I'm sorry. It was just the first idea that came to me. So what do you think this brother is like? What information do we get about the brother? Do you think he's a strong person? Is he a weak person? Um, Give me your thoughts. It should only be a couple of sentences, just based on these similes here. And finally, question 3 is you're going to rewrite this poem with similes to describe someone you know. So it doesn't have to be loathing or dislike like this poem is here. You could write one about your mom and how much you love and adore her and how great she is. You could write one about your dog, about how friendly and outgoing and protective they are. So it all depends on who you want to write about. It doesn't matter who you're writing about, really. We're just trying to get you to think more about using similes and how similes work when you're writing poetry. And that's it for lesson 1. Very quick, short, and sweet. And I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!